All right, hi everyone. Hello, hello. A very good afternoon to one and all. Welcome to Let's Talk About Health. I'm Brian Wong. Today we are here to learn more about different joint issues and how to manage joint pain, and hope that we can put a spring back onto our steps. All right, so today I would like to invite our panel of doctors and experts to help us understand more. Let's welcome our speaker, Dr. Teo Yee Hong, orthopedic surgeon from Mount Elizabeth Novena Hospital.
Thank you,
Rachel Gan, channel lead, Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei. Please
Thanks,
welcome them
Hello,
on stage.
everyone.
Let's have a seat. Okay, we can have a lot of, you don't have to sit so far away. I won't bite.
I'm not scared of you.
All right, so I think everyone is looking very nice and very relaxed, and we see a lot of people standing at the side. Actually, you can come in and, okay, not much seats, so you can just stand around the sides, and join us for the next 45 minutes. So today, this afternoon, we have a series of talks. We're going to be talking about joints. We are going to be talking about dengue. We are going to be talking about, the hot topic, which is COVID, as well as the king of culinary folks that are going to be joining us at 5:30 today to talk more about their program. So, a very good afternoon to both of you. I met you guys just right behind backstage. Now, what makes up a joint? That is a basic question we're going to start off with, yes.
Okay, welcome everyone. What makes up a joint? Sounds like a very simple question, but if you think about it, the difference between us and, for example, an amoeba or a bacteria is that we have an exoskeleton. What is an exoskeleton? My hand, for example. You see, my hand is capable of moving this. I'm capable of reaching out to something. And the reason why I'm capable of doing that is because I have three things. Number one, I have muscles that power the movement. Number two, I have the structure or the column that allows me to do that, which is my bone. And the last thing, if I only have a stiff bone like a bamboo, it's useless. So we have a joint in between. So essentially, that's what a joint is all about. So I have an elbow joint here, I have a shoulder joint here, and I have a wrist joint here. And the difference between all these joints, we're such complex creature. Some of them are like a hinge, so it allows us to do this. Some of them are like a ball and socket, so it allows us to do this. And our fingers are again hinge joint. So basically, the joint allow us to move.
Okay, that's very comprehensive. So basically, joints 就是我们的关节嘛。Okay, 所以我们今天要谈的呢，就是完全就是关于这个关节的。So, a lot of people, probably when they get a little bit older or when they do a lot of exercise, they'll be saying things that, my elbow hurts, my leg hurts, my knee hurts, my ankle hurts. So what is the most common cause of the pain that we have at the joints?
Yeah, so as with everything that moves, just like your engine, after a while, they do wear out. So unfortunately, once we get older, our joints do wear out. For example, knee joint is our most common joint because we need to use our knee joint to squat, to walk, to run. At the age of 70 years old, about 30% of us will be afflicted by knee joint pain. And that goes up by 1% every year. By the time you reach 80 years old, about 40% of us would have symptomatic knee pain. And that's the reason why I'm a joint surgeon, because 40% of people will have to look for me, Brian.
You're very clever. So that means when you were starting to be witch doctor, you already anticipated, at which point of time I'm going to have the most number of patients. So I think joints, definitely. So just now you mentioned the common ones are the knee, and where else?
So the common ones are the knee being the most common, and our spine. Our spine is actually full of joints. So you hear of people saying they have arthritis of the joint, bone spur in the spine. These are all wear and tear to the spine. And the last one is our hands. So they often say to me that if you want to know a lady's real age, look at her hands. She can Botox her face, she can do facelift, but her hands will always show the age. Why? Because her joints will become bigger and become deformed. I'm only 51 years old, but if you look at my joints, they are all slightly deformed, bigger. The reason is because I'm a surgeon, I use my hands a lot. So those are the common joints that wear out.
So
Yeah.
that means the more we use our joints, chances of it wearing out is definitely higher, of course. It's just like a car, isn't it? Whichever part of the engine or whichever part of the car, the hinges, everything that you use all the time, so that will have the so-called wear and tear.
Yes and no. So the truth is our joint actually get a lot of its nutrition or to get its function from movement. If there is no movement in the knee joint, for example, the cartilage actually does not get its supplement because there's no real blood supply there. So the joint is designed for you to move. But if you don't move it, it's actually worse. So don't go home and say that, oh, no, I should be sedentary, I don't move, then I will preserve my joint. I don't have to see Dr. Teo for a knee replacement, for example.
Right.
But that's not the way. You probably will end up seeing me earlier for a knee replacement. So it's important to move those joints as well. So what are the real cause of it? So number one, of course, is age. So the older you are, the higher risk of you having arthritis of the knee. I guess aging is something that we cannot fight. The only way to fight aging is, I guess, if you die early lah. But I think none of us really here want to die early lah. So
Well, this is really the first time I hear anyone say that, you know, in order to fight old age. Yeah. Okay, carry on, please.
yeah, so I guess, you know, if you don't want to hit the age of 80, you don't want to age, then the only way is to die at 50 years old. Then you never have an aging problem. Okay, jokes aside. Now,
Okay.
So aging is one of the things, but these are things that we cannot change. We all get old. But what are the things that we can change, or what are the things that we can do to help our joint? Actually, one of the most common thing is our weight. So obesity is a real problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you are very heavy, then the chance of you wearing out your knee joint, your spine, increases versus someone who drops their weight. For example, you realize that when you go up and down the stairs, especially when you're coming down the stairs, you have knee pain. But the minute you hold on to the handrail, the knee pain actually comes down quite a lot and allows you to come down at least. You know why? The reason is because you're transferring some of your weight onto the handrail. And you're not transferring a lot, you're not pressing very hard, you're just holding on to it, but that allows you to come down. Or you're seated, you're trying to get up. You just have to press the side and that helps you get up. The reason is because 1 kilogram body weight is equivalent to about 13 kilogram of pressure in the knee joint over the kneecap. So by holding on to the handrail, if you remove 5 kilogram body weight, that's 5 times 13. That's 65 kilogram less pressure on your kneecap. So i.e. what I'm trying to tell you is if you have knee pain and you don't want to see me for a joint replacement, lose weight. That 5 kilogram may just be sufficient to keep you away from your doctor. So lose weight is one of the easiest and the cheapest thing to achieve. I guess I would say not the easiest thing to achieve.
Yeah, I like it that Doctor here, you know, he has been talking so well, and he actually progressed into the next question, which I was about to ask you. So, the people who are at risk of joint pains, so one of them are people who are, one of those group of people would be the people who are overweight. So it is very important for us to do weight management. We have to watch what we eat, we have to eat healthy, and we have to do regular exercise. So how do we know that we are overweight? It's not like after the shower, you come out the shower, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you think that, I've got a bit of fats here and there, that means I'm overweight. No, there is a standard way to measure whether are you overweight or not, right?
That's correct. So the taller you are, you're allowed to carry more weight. So unfortunately for us who are shorter, then you cannot carry so much weight. So it's called your BMI. And that basically is a measure of whether you're underweight, overweight, or you're fairly optimal. So you take your weight in kilogram, divide by your height in meter. So for example, I am 72 kilogram. My height is 1.74.
Wait. Let me do this. I can calculate your BMI straight away. Come again, your weight is?
So my weight is 72 kilograms.
72.
And my height is 1.74. So you divide that by 1.74. And then you divide it again by 1.74. So I should be below 25. I'll be very embarrassed if I'm above 25. That means I'm overweight.
Well, doctor here is 23. 23. So if it's under 25, means that you are of the good weight that you are supposed to be in your category, right?
Correct. Yeah, so I'm reasonable weight. So I think we should start getting worried if you exceed, like, for example, BMI of 25, then you're heading towards an overweight situation.
Okay.
Yeah. So other than weight, you may ask anything else. There are plenty, in fact. So remember, we go back to our exoskeleton, bone, and what moves the joint is actually our muscle. So our muscle mass is also very important. You may wonder, 30% of people got knee pain. How come the other 70% of the people do not have knee pain? Well, they could be, number one, lighter than you. Number two, their muscles may be stronger. Why is strong muscle important? Because our joint and we are actually quite smart creature. We are actually capable of positioning our joint in such an optimal position that there is less pressure and less pain. For example, you step on something and your toe is painful. If your muscles are strong, you can move your joint a little bit so that you don't put pressure on the painful bit. Now, unfortunately, our muscle also decreases, or our muscle strength also decreases with age. So you see, it's a double whammy. We put on weight as we get older, and then we lose muscle mass as we get older. So these two are the main ingredient of you having knee pain. That is why I said the aim is not to don't move the joint. If you don't move the joint, what will happen to your muscle? Your muscle will become wasted, as in your muscle will become weaker and weaker and weaker to such a point that it doesn't function and position your joint correctly, and it goes out of alignment. Then you have a real problem with that joint. So it's a very common problem, what is known as sarcopenia. So what exactly is sarcopenia? Sarco refers to muscle. Penia refers to the muscle becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. So when you're younger, when you do this, or you see a Popeye, and now when you do that, you see hardly anything. That's because your muscles are really shrinking. And why? A lot of time is because we have knee pain. It's a vicious cycle. When you have joint pain, you have knee pain, you do less. You say, no, I have knee pain, I cannot go for my walk. And you don't go for your walk, your muscle then becomes smaller. When your muscle becomes smaller, they become weaker, and you have even more joint pain, and then you walk even less. A few other problems that are sort of related to the older people are related to their diet. Why is diet important? Because if you think about it, the main ingredient of our muscle is actually protein. So for example, if you don't get sufficient protein in your diet, your muscle do not have a chance to come back or to grow bigger. And it's very common because in older people, some of them become edentulous. That means you don't have teeth. Your teeth fall off, your teeth break, and obviously you're not going to be able to bite on a piece of hard steak or hard meat. You tend to go for softer diet, and the protein in those diet may be insufficient. So again, it is one of those aging things. And then of course the other things are like getting your sufficient vitamin D, your calcium, and all that. That time I think Rachel will be more an expert than me in advising how much you need to get and that kind of thing. So maybe we pass the time to Rachel before my voice goes hoarse.
Because before you keep rambling on. So let's do a recap. So who are the specific group of people who are at a greater risk of joint pain? So that would be people who are overweight, people who don't have consume enough nutrients for their body, and people who don't do enough exercises. All right? So we have to dispel the myth that if your joints are not feeling well, you stay off exercise altogether. That is wrong.
Exactly. So it's very important. Even if you have some joint pain, you should continue to move those joints.
Yes, of course. And then, of course, a lot of us, we stay in HGB flats. So there is always the stairs, even though that the lift go to every single level. I'm quite sure you have the neighbor that you go inside the lift, they are on the second level, they also take the lift, and you'll be wondering like, why? But of course, if you're carrying a lot of things, you don't want to do that exercise. However, if you have the time to, and you're not rushing off to work, or maybe you're just come back from work, maybe climbing a few flights of stairs might be good for your joints as well, good for your heart. All right, for people who are overweight, well, we can go into a lot of things about overweight. Being overweight is not healthy. And secondly, because you're carrying so much weight on your body, your joints are going to suffer, right? Because you see, the main anchor, that would be our knees, yes? And then our ankles as well, because as we walk. So you'll be complaining that, oh, my joints are not feeling well. It's not just because, maybe it could be because your body weight is too much for your body to bear. So, healthy lifestyle, yeah? Eat clean, eat healthy, cheat days, yes. If we eat clean every day, seriously, I cannot imagine how boring life is gonna be. Maybe twice a week, maybe just on Saturday and Sunday, there'll be a cheat day. You get to eat something that is really sinful, that you really like. You just eat the char kway teow and be happy. You just eat a seafood hor fun, you'll be happy. You have nasi lemak, nasi padang, but not every day, yes? So maybe Monday to Friday, you'll be a good boy, good girl, good uncle, good auntie, good grandpa, good grandma. You eat healthy, you eat clean. But 1 week, 2 days, cheat. But after you have your cheat day, you must make up for it. That's what I do. If I have a very good meal today, the next day, I will do twice the amount of exercise that I do to compensate what I put in my body yesterday. Yeah, so I can tell myself, okay, I'm happy with it. I can put good things, not really good things, a little bit of bad things in my body, but I take a couple of days to make sure that I repair my body. I think this is the way we should live. Because just like RuPaul, he say, if you cannot love yourself, how can you love anybody else, right? So we have to love ourselves. We have to take care of our very own body. And this is where, Rachel, you're going to come into the picture. Let's talk about what are the ways to improve or to reduce the joint pain that we already have.
Maybe I will just follow up from what Dr. Teo has mentioned.
You have to put the mic nearer.
Okay, we talk about protein. So another thing that I would like to mention is about collagen. So collagen is actually very important for us. And do you know that our body actually contains 28 types of collagen?
Collagen.
Yes.
28 different kinds of collagen.
28.
But frankly speaking, if you were to ask anyone, if you ask girls from 20 to 30 years old, they will just know of one kind of collagen. Not say girls in general, boys and girls nowadays, the younger ones. Collagen, 胶原蛋白.
Correct.
We'll just think of collagen for the face, yes? But actually, collagen is for all parts of our body, especially the joints.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why there are 28 types.
Right.
And the most important actually is type number 2, which is for your joints and also your cartilage, apart from the skin.
Right. Okay. So then, because whenever we talk about collagen, right, everyone just have a very direct notion that collagen is just like one thing fits all. Does it work this way, or do we have to be very specific of what kind of collagen that we are going to put into our body to help out with our joint pains?
So to help joint pain or to ease your joint mobility and also flexibility, you need type 2, where we call it UC2.
UC2?
Yes. And UC2 is actually available in supplement form. So apart from the food you consume where you need a lot of chicken and fish, you can also take supplement in the form of UC2 to help you to increase your mobility. You can be more flexible and you can also decrease the pain if you have any in your joint.
Okay, so everyone here, you have to be very, very careful about this. Be very precise. Note it down on your smartphone if you need to. If you are having joint pains, the collagen that you need is called UC2. C2. Not UC2, no, it's U, like U-turn the U.
Correct.
C for
Yes.
Charlie.
Correct.
Okay, UC2. If you were to go and get some what do you call that, health products, supplements, you must make sure it is called UC2. That is for your joints.
Yep.
And the collagen for the face?
I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out about it.
No, just in case, is there a universal kind of a collagen, just like, we have those multivitamins, right?
Correct.
Multivitamins will give you everything.
Yes.
So does it mean that we can, if we are lazy?
I'll give you some tips.
Okay.
That is number 5.
Okay.
Collagen number 5.
Collagen number 5.
Yeah, but I'm going to focus on number 2 only, which is for your joint.
So collagen number 5. Oh, so that is for the face. Just like there's a perfume also number 5, yeah? Why number 5 is all for the face and body? Yeah? Okay, so tell us what is good about UC2.
So when you consume UC2, this type of collagen can help you to increase your mobility, and it can help you to become more flexible as well. And it has these anti-inflammatory properties that can help you to reduce your pain. So apart from UC2, there's also another type of supplements that I think most of you are aware. It is called glucosamine.
Glucosamine, yes, I know about this because my mom always tells me like, 姜啊，我的 glucosamine, she call it glucosamine.
Glucosamine.
我的 glucosamine 吃完了。然后我就问她 I asked her, which brand or what, like, and then it was only when I go to the pharmacy that I realized that there are different kind of glucosamines out there. There are different kind of pill, gel form or whatsoever. There are different kind of dosage, like how many mg and stuff like that. So you have to talk more about, because there are people who think that, because I have this very bad joint pains, means that I want to take more every day. But that is wrong, isn't it?
No, that is not right.
Okay.
Because it doesn't mean that if you take more, it will be better.
Okay.
Just like food, if you take more, you will be obese and it wouldn't be good for your health.
Right.
So let's go back to UC2 and also glucosamine. Actually, there's difference in these two supplements. Both also is good for your joint, but in recent studies shown that UC2 actually is clinically proven to be better than glucosamine and also chondroitin.
Oh.
It can work actually 2 times faster than glucosamine and chondroitin. So in that case, UC2 is better.
Okay, so when you talk about it works faster, for example, all right, if I have a knee joint pain, yes, so I'm prescribed. Question? Yes. Joint pain, any cure? Afterwards, we'll come to this question. Very good. She's very enthusiastic about this. I like that. So, when you talk about it being 2 times faster, what is the time frame that we are looking at? Like, for example, if we go on the prescription of, let's say, introducing UC2 into our daily regimen, like approximately how long before we start to see a difference?
So compare between UC2 and also glucosamine. If you start to take UC2, you can see the effect starting 30 days, 30.
Okay.
But if you take glucosamine and also chondroitin, you can only see the effect around 180 days.
No way.
Yes.
180 days versus 30 days.
Correct.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you must be so happy that you are here this afternoon or you are watching this on MeWatch, because besides glucosamine, there is a faster alternative to tackle, like to improve and to reduce joint pain, and that is UC2. But of course, before you start to put anything into your body, I think it is very important to consult your medical practitioner. You have to talk to your doctor. You can Google, but then again, you cannot trust everything that is on the internet. You have to find some very reliable sources. And just because your neighbors say it is good doesn't mean that it's going to work. You have to verify. And I think it's very important to look for people like those that are sitting right next to me, like doctors, they can give you a better idea. But is UC2 applicable to everyone? I mean, because as you grow older, you will have different kind of problems. Maybe you have high blood pressure, you have 糖尿病, you know, you have this and that. Is UC2 gonna affect the other stuff as well?
UC2 is suitable, but the best if you have any of the health condition, see Dr. Teo for consultation.
Okay, so now we are gonna go back to the question that the lady asked earlier. Is there a cure for joint pain? This one we have to refer to doctor. Is there a cure?
Of course, there is always a cure. Unlike a lot of cancer that are not treatable, fortunately, joint pain is often treatable. So other than what we have already recapped and mentioned, which is, you know, take your supplement with your weight loss, maintain your optimal weight, fighting aging, that's not really possible. So the last thing that despite losing weight and despite strengthening your muscle, and you find that your knee, for example, is still giving you a lot of disability. Now, you have to be honest with yourself. A lot of old people said, well, actually, I'm okay. We all know if you don't walk, every day just sit there, obviously you're not going to get knee pain, but you are going to affect your quality of life. And the more you don't walk, the weaker your muscles become. So you have to ask yourself, for example, if you go traveling, now that the border is open, you go traveling.
Yeah, I just got back from Japan.
Yeah,
very nice.
Great. So, you know, if you go traveling with, for example, your children or your grandchildren, and you say, oh, I can't climb up these stairs, why don't you all go out, sit down and have a cup of coffee?
Yeah, that happens a lot. Yes.
So that is when you find that actually your lifestyle is being affected.
Yes.
Because you missed out. You cannot do what you want to do. So ultimately, when all this fail, then the last thing that we can help you with is, unfortunately, surgery. Everybody hear the word surgery, they're all ready to open my consult room door and bolt out. I know everybody don't like surgery, but actually in today's current climate, surgery is quite useful. No, that's not true. I just said. No, that's not true. So I just said it's not true. There are surgery that we can do. So one of the most common surgery that we do is called a knee replacement. What exactly is a knee replacement? So you see, the main problem is your knee is like an old engine. The cartilage is worn out. It's like a rotten tooth. It's decayed. So it's no longer smooth. So it makes a lot of noise and it becomes deformed. When you stand, your legs are like a pair of O-shaped legs. And when you walk, it's very unstable. You wobble and you can't bend your joint because it's jammed. So what do we do in those cases? Actually quite simple. We go in, we shave away the damaged cartilage, and we put a metal cap over it. It's like a rotten tooth, you crown it, same principle.
Right.
Same for the bottom, so we cover both surface, your shin bone and your thigh bone, and we shave off the damaged cartilage, and we put on a metal cap. Also, these days, we are very precise. We have robotic surgery, we have computer-assisted surgery. What we're trying to do is to achieve a straight leg. So when we finish, your leg is as good as when you're first born. Very young, nice and straight, no longer like an O shape. And because you cover up the cartilage that's damaged, you now restore movement in that joint, number one. Number two, it no longer creaks and cracks and it becomes very stable. And what's most important is it removes the pain because the surface that is rough is now replaced by metal. The surgery is actually quite straightforward these days. Sometimes we even do it as an overnight stay, which means nearly like a day surgery. You come in today, we do the surgery, tomorrow you go home. Of course, you have to be a little bit fitter. You can't have a lot of medical problems. If you have a lot of medical problems, then you may have to stay in a hospital for 2 to 3 days. And also, thanks to our government, it is a very affordable surgery these days. With CHARS, with medical subsidy, it can go as cheap as $7,000, $8,000. That's before deducting your MediSave.
So you can use a MediSave for the surgery?
Correct.
Yeah.
So by the time you knock off your MediSave in terms of cash outlay, it may be as low as $2,000, that kind of thing. Of course, this is done in a government hospital. In a private setting, it will be slightly more expensive.
Right.
Yeah. The ballpark figure is about $25,000, $30,000. Then again, if you have an insurance, most of it will be taken care of by your health insurance.
Okay, so we have established that actually joint pain is curable. It is not like cancer, which some kind of cancer which cannot be treated. If we do follow a healthy lifestyle, we do exercises, we have the necessary nutrients going into our body, it will help out a lot. And in the worst scenario, we can also opt for surgery, yes, to rectify the problem.
That's correct. So don't be too frightened of surgery. Every time we talk about surgery, people get very, very frightened. I can tell you, my oldest patient that underwent knee replacement is 102 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
Every year she comes back for her follow-up. Secretly, between you and me, I always wonder if I will see her the following year. And I'll tell you, she's 106 now. And every year, without fail, she shows up in my clinic.
She's from Singapore.
She's from Singapore, 106 years old.
Oh, wow. I didn't really know that we have such people with such wealth of experience here, because I heard that, you know, cases like this will be probably in the island of Okinawa, whereby they live to a very ripe old age. In Singapore, 106. Amazing. So, for the younger ones or people who haven't started having joint pains, right? So, when should we start to worry about our joint pain? Or, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important to cover that. So not all joint pain are due to arthritis. Osteoarthritis is what we spoke about earlier. What is osteoarthritis? Osteo refers to the bone, R refers to the joint. So arthritis means inflammation of the joint. So osteoarthritis is part of aging. As we get older, the joint gets worn out. By 70 years old, 30% gets afflicted by it. Now, if you are younger and yet you still get joint pain, then we have to look at the more rare causes of joint pain. If you are male, one of the most common cause is actually gout, or what is known as uric acid level too high. Chinese
Yes.
call it 痛风.
The gout.
Yes.
Okay, so gout is not a form of joint pain. Gout is gout.
Gout is a joint pain, so
Okay.
it's very severe.
Right.
Typically affects your first big toe, base of your first big toe, sometimes your ankle, and sometimes your knee. So often these are either diet related or you have a family history where you like to eat rich food. For example, inner organs, very red meat, that kind of thing, where your uric acid level goes very high. Alcohol is the other thing. And then it triggers a gout attack. What is a gout attack? The uric acid crystal actually crystallizes in your joint, and that causes very severe pain. And then for the ladies are unfortunately more prone to what we call inflammatory condition. What is inflammatory condition? Inflammatory condition means your own body actually attacks itself. Your own body thinks that your knee joint or your hip joint is foreign. And what it does is it's trying to kill it and say, hey, this is foreign, it's an invasion, it's an invader, and it triggers a response and starts destroying that joint. That's called inflammatory arthritis, and the most common being rheumatoid arthritis. So these people will have very deformed joint. For example, their hands will be all curled up, their knees will go into knock knees, very severe deformity, and it affects every single joint. The treatment for this group of people is not surgery, because I cannot replace every single one of your joint. The treatment is to control your body. And how is that done? That's done with medication. So we find that a lot of older Singaporean, I would say older Chinese, not just Singaporean, okay, I wouldn't say Chinese, but overall Asian, we don't like to take medicine. For example, if you have high blood pressure and the doctor says, please take your medicine, and they say, is this going to be lifelong? Yes, as long as your high blood pressure is high, you should take medicine. The truth is when you take this medicine, you normalize things. So if you have a joint condition, you take medicine, it normalizes the thing, and you are being pushed towards like a normal person, you don't have that condition. But if you don't take the medicine, then sometimes it becomes too late. Your joint becomes totally deformed. So we should all learn that if you are prescribed medicine, you should take it. Don't be too worried about the side effect, because the aim of the medicine is to treat your condition. Side effect is a small part of it. You know, to give an example, my father is 83 years old. He's fat, he's obese, he loves his food. He's got high blood pressure, he's got high cholesterol, he's got diabetes. But the good thing about him is every morning he takes all his 8 tablets given by his polyclinic. And guess what? At 83, he's had no stroke. He enjoys his food. And I always tell him, hey, why don't you watch your salt? Hey, why don't you watch your cholesterol? He said, but I take those medicine, no problem. So sometimes we have to be more like so. We have to take our medicine. Yeah.
Okay, Rachel, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I heard about you going to Japan. That is really exciting.
It was really nice. Lots of seafood, lots of sashimi, lots of walking every day. My
Lots of
mom,
walking.
certain areas that we go to, right? She say that, 江啊，我不要走啦，你们两个去走. Then I will say that it's not about we have time. Yeah, we have time. You don't have to worry about us. It's not about taking a long time to get there, but at the end of the day, you have to get there. You don't have to walk fast. You can slowly walk there if you have the time to. Because I think that is very important. If not, you will come to a stage whereby you'll be so used to saying things like, oh, I don't want to walk anymore because I'm going to be very slow. And then when you don't do walking anymore, no more exercises for you, your joint pain is going to be worse.
It's
Yes.
about enjoying the journey.
Yes.
But time is really important.
Yes.
Like what I mentioned just now is by taking UC2, it can help you to reduce your joint pain in 30 days, help you to move easier, more flexible. But now I have even a better news.
No way.
Yes. So we can actually improve our mobility and also become like, you can walk easier in just 14 days because we have a new formulation right now in the market, which is UC2 plus hops.
UC2 plus
Hops.
cups.
Hops. Hopping. So imagine you're hopping like a rabbit.
Hop.
Yes.
Okay. UC2 plus hop. Okay.
Hops.
Oh, wow.
So hops is actually an ingredient that is a plant-based extract.
Hops.
Yes.
Sorry. I keep on
Hops.
thinking like hop. Sorry. So it's the plant. Okay.
So these actually have a very strong anti-inflammatory effect.
Ah.
So with that coming in together with UC2 and hops, it can actually help to give the effect in only 14 days.
So this is okay for most people in general?
Yes, it's okay for most people. So you don't wait until you have osteoarthritis, you have pain, you can't walk. You can start taking it. It's a supplement that can help anyone to increase your mobility, and you're going to be more flexible.
Right. So I think maybe from our little talk this afternoon, we can all conclude one thing. Don't wait until you have joint pains. Then you start to see what are the solutions. I think even if you are young and you have yet to experience joint pain, it's very important for you to make sure that you keep a very healthy lifestyle. You do necessary exercises, and then you watch your weight, and then look out for any health supplements that are going to benefit your body. And that way, we can all aspire to go up to 106 years old if life is good. All right?
Indeed, indeed.
All right, so that's the time we have for our 2 panel. I still have some more things, so you guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Brian.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Teo Yi Hong as well as Rachel Gan. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.